So now I have 6 pieces in total for the back panel. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and I will join the lining also the same way I joined the main fabrics. So I will be taking this to my sewing machine. I will stitch off the camera and I will be back to show you the next step. Okay guys, now I have the back panels joined together, and this is what I have after joining. So now I have the back panel as a single piece. So here is the wrong side. I open up the seam allowances and I gave it a press, after which I joined the lining as well. I joined the lining the same way I joined the main fabrics. I opened up the seam allowances also and I gave it a press. So this is what I have for the lining and this is what I have for the main fabrics. Okay, so now I have the front and the back panel joined properly. So I have this as single piece and this as a single piece. Okay, so the next step is to reshape the knee area. In order to give your skirt that feel of a fishtail shape, you will need to reshape the knee area. So I will be reshaping the knee area like so. I will hold the front and the back panel. I will position them right side facing the right side, and I will make sure the notches meet properly. The knee notches, the waist notches, the hip notches, like so. Okay, so now I will come to the knee area and I will measure half of an inch inward. Now this depends on you. You can either make it quarter of an inch, you can make it 0.375, or you can make it half of an inch. This depends on you. It depends on how much you want the knee area to go inward. So as for me, I will be making use of 0.375. Okay, the highest you can do is half of an inch. Okay, so you cannot take more than half of an inch, which means if you mark half of an inch, automatically you have taken about 2 inches away on the knee level. So that is half of an inch here. This is 1 inch on this side and 1 inch on the other side. That's 2 inches. Okay, so now I marked out my 0.375. Then I will connect this upward and downward. So with my straight ruler, I will take this upward. Like so. Then from the same point on the knee area, I will take it downward. So now I will be trimming off the marked lines. You can see what I have here. So I will hold it like so and I will trim this smoothly. So I will take it up and cut it upward. So when you are cutting, make sure the edges of your fabrics align properly. Okay, can you see the effect of the shaping I did on the knee area? You can see I have the knee area going inner more on this part than what I had here before. So this place is different from this. So this is the effect of the shaping. Then I'll be repeating the same process on the other side. But when you are trimming, make sure you have a smooth connection. Okay, it must not be obvious you reshape the knee area. What you have on the knee area must blend up with the remaining part of the side seam. Okay guys, now I have both sides of the knee area shaped properly, and this is what I have after shaping. Okay, so the next step is to take this to my sewing machine and close the side seam. Now I have the front and the back panels together, and I will be stitching with 1 inch of seam allowance from the waistline downward to the knee level. So when I get to the knee level, I will make it half of an inch to the hemline. Okay, you must make sure you blend this up properly. Okay, so let's assume this is okay. Let me take the 1 inch measurement on my knee area, so which is here. So and I want to connect this to the 1/2 inch. So here I have 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. So you must make sure you have a smooth connection, because this has to be reducing gradually downward until it gets to the 1/2 inch point. So if I position my roller from the knee point to this 1/2 inch point, I cannot have a smooth connection, because if I want to take this down, it will not blend up with the remaining 1/2 inch downward. But if I connect like so from this point, so I will have a smooth connection. So my connection will go this way. So with this, I will continue with the 1/2 inch downward. So but from the waistline downward to the knee level, I will make use of 1 inch, and on the other side I will repeat the same process. Okay, so for the lining as well, I will join the side seam together with 1 inch of seam allowance. Okay, I don't need to go through this process because there is no lower part for the lining. The lining stops on the knee level, so I will be stitching with 1 inch of seam allowance from the waistline to the knee level. Okay guys, now I have the sides joined together. So and this is what I have for my skirt after joining. So now I have my skirt as a single piece. Wow, this is looking so beautiful. So here is the lower part of the skirt, can you see? Okay, so after joining all the pieces together and I have my skirt as a single piece, the next step is to attach the zipper. So in attaching the zipper will be attached to the center back, because I want mine to be on the center back. If you want yours to be by the side, so place yours on the side, but you don't need to add up to 1 inch of seam allowance on the center back if you are not attaching your zipper. So now I will be attaching an invisible zipper to my skirt. In some of my other courses, I've shown you guys how to attach an open zipper and a concealed zipper. So that is why I decided to make use of an invisible zipper for this, so that you guys will learn how to attach an invisible zipper neatly and easily. So firstly, I will take the measurement of my zipper. So here is the starting point of my zipper. So I will take the measurement downward to this point before the zipper separated on the lower part. So here I have 10 inches. So the 10 inches is below my hip level, so which is okay. So from the waistline, I will take the measurement of 10 inches and I will mark the point. So that is 1 inch below the hip level, but in this case it's going to be 1/2 inch below the hip level, purposely because I have my seam allowance added on the waistline, but I intentionally took the measurement from the upper part because I don't want the zipper to stop exactly on the end point of the zipper. It has to be a little bit above this point. So that was why I took the measurement from the waistline. So this is going to be 1/2 inch below the hip level I have on the skirt, purposely because the hip level here is 9 inches, but from the waistline to the hip level is 9.5 inches. So I will mark the 10 inches point here. So I will rip off my seam from this point upward to the waistline. So after ripping off the seam, and I will relock this part back so that the seam will not rip off. Then I will repeat the same process on the lining. I will measure out my 10 inches. I will open up the seam from the 10 inches point upward to the waistline. Then I will relock the point. So guys, after attaching the zipper with the lining, the next step is to finish the waist area. You can see the waist area has not been finished. So here is the lining and here is the fabric. So I will be using the lining to finish the waist area, purposely because my skirt is without band. But if your skirt is going to be with band, you don't need this step. Just keep the step and attach your band. So in doing this, I will open up my zipper like so. Then I will bring out my lining and I will position my lining and my fabrics right side facing the right side. like so, and I'll pin the edges of the waistline together. So guys, now I have the fabric and the lining pins together on the waistline. So the next step is to stitch with 1/2 inch of seam allowance from the zipper allowance point on this side all round to the other side of the zipper allowance point on the other side here. Okay guys, now I have this stitched together. Okay, so you can see what I have. I stitched with 1/2 inch of seam allowance from this edge all through to the other edge. Okay, so the next step is to apply a top stitch. In applying a top stitch, I will be turning this to the right side. Okay, so I will be top stitching on the lining, so which means my zipper allowance will be facing the lining like so. Okay guys, now I have my top stitch applied on the waistline, and this is what I have. So the next step is to trim off the zipper I have on the waist area, that is the excess zipper I have here, and I will also trim down the zipper allowance I have around this point. So after which I will trim off the other side as well. Okay, so the next step is to turn this inside out. Now I have this turned. As you can see, this is what I have after turning the inside out. So this is what I have for the wrong side of my skirt, and this is what I have for the right side of my skirt. So the next step is to take this to my ironing board, and I will give it a very good press in order to stabilize the lining inside the skirt and also the fabrics itself. Okay, so after which I will hem the lower parts. So after hemming the lower parts, then I'm done with the construction of a 12 pieces skirt. So the next step is to show you guys the final result or the final look of a beautiful 12 pieces skirt. Okay guys, this is a final look of a beautiful 12 pieces skirt. This is a 12 pieces skirt without a band. You can see the effect of the shaping on the knee area, which helps the flare to become more obvious, and the shaping on the center back helps to push up the buttocks and also prevents the skirt from having an excess on the lower waistline. So guys, that is all on how to make a 12 pieces skirt. Make sure you like, share and comment on this video, and I will see you soon with another insightful tutorial. But till then, always do remember, there is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.